You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Right now, wildlife investigators want to know who mutilated two alligators and left them to die. The gruesome details are coming up.
And as a nation takes this week to honor fallen police officers, we're going to tell you about a wrong finally made right more than 80 years later.
And new protests in the Middle East, Palestinians fight back against the new U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, 5 o'clock. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us today. John Scalzi, when are we going to see some sunshine?
Today.
Okay.
How's that?
That
Is
works.
that good?
We'll take it.
You all right? All right. Today. We'll have a little bit more sunshine for the first half of the day, and then I think the second half of the day, those rain showers will return, maybe even a thunderstorm or two, and the heavier rain will occur probably around between 3 and 5 o'clock this afternoon. But we will get a little bit more sunshine around this morning. And now, don't get too excited about that, because the sunshine basically means that it's going to heat up the atmosphere. The atmosphere will become unstable, and we get those afternoon showers and thunderstorms, which is not altogether a bad thing. Right now, things are pretty quiet on radar for the most part. We've got a few light showers around, mostly around Wauchula, but everybody else is looking okay. We've got cloud cover, though, but look to the south, just over us. We've got some breaks in those clouds as the low-pressure area is kind of moving a little further to the north now. That's going to allow for the daytime heating that takes us back up into the, well, close to the mid-80s today, warmer than yesterday. This is the water vapor imagery, and it's really hard to see the surface circulation if there even is one, but this helps you kind of pinpoint where the upper level low is, and it's located right about there. Kind of just a little to our north in latitude and continuing to drift slowly to the north. So the rainfall forecast for today calls for less total amount than 24 hours ago, coming in close to the half-inch to 1-inch mark. I guess we'll have more later, so back to you guys.
All right, fair enough. Talk to you soon, John. 301 southbound, some issues already there at 15th Street East, otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south now, we'll check that map in the upper half of Sarasota County and find nothing much to speak of, just some damp roads. Be aware of that as you head out today. And then farther south to the final shots of our viewing area, nothing so far. So far, so good. 5:02 on this Tuesday morning. And this is a live look, or no, it's not. 5:02 right now. We're going to show a shot of the sheriff's office right now. No, okay.
All right. Well, yep, there we go. There it is right there. All this week, of course, Sarasota, the Sheriff's Office headquarters in Sarasota, they're going to be hosting the 33rd Annual Law Enforcement Memorial Service. That's going to be happening later on today. This is Law Enforcement Week as well, so we're going to have more on that right now with Marla, because as you drive around the Suncoast today, you may see some flags flown at half-staff to honor officers who died in the line of duty.
Of the 53 officer deaths so far this year nationwide, 4 occurred here in Florida. Marla Spence is live from a memorial at the Old Manatee County Courthouse in Bradenton. Marla?
Good morning, guys. This memorial behind me honors fallen officers here in Bradenton, and one that one police chief says was forgotten in time. Now, Officer Steve Bennett lost his life in the line of duty nearly 80 years ago. He was in his patrol car on April 4th, 1934, when another car hit him near 8th Avenue West and 14th Street West. Years after his death, a lieutenant with Bradenton PD noticed his name was missing from the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., so the department made sure the omission was corrected. Bradenton Police Chief Melanie Bevan and the Honor Guard are in the nation's capital to see that Bennett's name was added to the memorial, and Bradenton PD also helped Bennett's family and surviving family to get to D.C. to see their loved one honored. So a very honorable moment in Washington, D.C. Chief Melanie Bevan is actually headed back to Bradenton later on today, and the Honor Guard will be heading back home tomorrow, coming up at 5:30. What Bradenton Police Department is doing later on this week to honor other fallen officers, including Bennett, is coming straight ahead. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Starting this week, police nationwide will give extra attention to drivers not wearing their safety belts. The extra crackdown will continue through June 3rd. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, nearly half of those killed in recent year were not wearing their seat belts. Most of the fatalities between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
After a stabbing that left 3 injured, this morning Northport police are looking for answers. Police were called at around 3:30 yesterday afternoon to the 2300 block of Villa Green Avenue, where they found one man that was stabbed. 2 others were injured and then taken to the hospital. Now, police say none of their injuries so far appear to be life-threatening, and all 3 of them do know each other. The cause of that fight is still under investigation.
We are learning more about the 4 shootings in the past week in the Newtown area now. The police chief doesn't think the incidents were random, but rather the shooter knew the victims beforehand. They're trying to find common threads in the timing as well as the weapons used.
It is concerning enough to us that we are jumping on it right away and taking it very seriously, and we want the community at large to feel safe and know that our officers are out there every day to keep them safe.
Of the 12 shootings in Sarasota since the start of the year, 10 have been in the Newtown area. SPD is also working to take weapons off the streets since January. Officers have recovered 75 handguns that were either stolen or found in cars.
New developments this morning in the case against a Sarasota man accused of shooting into a Main Street condo. A new arrest warrant has been issued for Ryan Flanzer. Now, just a week ago, he posted a $7,500 bond, then was held for psychological evaluation. According to police records, he violated the conditions of his release. Flanzer is accused of shooting in an empty apartment in downtown Sarasota. Police confiscated 8 firearms, including an AK-47.
Right now, Florida Fish and Wildlife investigating the deaths of 2 alligators. Now, we want to warn you, these pictures you're about to see are graphic. The gators' remains were found on Sunday on the side of Wakulla Road near Taylor Road in Mayaca City. Their tails have been chopped off. Police who live nearby hope the person or persons who did this will be caught.
At first we were a little surprised, we were trying to go through the scenarios, were they hit by a car, was it some other wild animal that did this, but then it became pretty evident with the way the tails were cut off that, a human had done this and it was on purpose.
If you can help find the person who did it, please call the Florida Wildlife Commission.
More protests expected today after yesterday's new U.S. Embassy opened in Jerusalem. Protesters held Palestinian flags and a sign that read, quote, "Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine" on Monday. Now, the Trump administration moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem despite strong opposition from Palestinians.
I hope that for those who are watching, who maybe have wavered on expressing any kind of support for the Palestinian cause, take now as the moment to be, unhesitant in declaring their support. Now more than ever, we're seeing that things are getting desperate, but with desperation comes even greater resilience and steadfastness on the part of the Palestinian people. We will resist until return and until liberation.
Meanwhile, Israeli forces killed dozens of Palestinians in bloody clashes at the Gaza border on Monday. Protests over the relocation started more than 6 weeks ago. That's when Palestinians marked Nakba Day, during which they mourn what they consider the catastrophe of the creation of the State of Israel 70 years ago.
American Airlines is no longer recognizing some emotional support animals. If you want to bring a support animal on board, American now says you have to file paperwork 48 hours before the flight. Even with the paperwork, some animals are no longer allowed because they pose a safety or public health risks. Now, that ban includes, wait for it, insects, goats, hedgehogs. That changes your plans, I know.
It does, for sure.
Some of the animals that cannot travel as comfort animals now because the airline revised the rules. They go into effect on July 1st.
Well, kudos this morning to the Manatee County School District. They've been recognized as a Florida Healthy School, and it's at the gold level. Now, that rating is based on several factors, plus a self-assessment from the district on their menu. The Florida Partnership for Healthy Schools actually developed this program to recognize and celebrate the success of different school districts all around the state that focus on health and nutrition in their schools.
A popular summer youth program will be held someplace else due to renovations at the Sailor Circus on Bay Vista. The show will go on for kids seeking a more adventurous summer camp. This year it'll be held at the Sarasota High School Gymnasium from June through August. That's where it's being held this time. Kids ages 6 to 15 can take part in 1 or 2 week sessions. It goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, 10 children removed from what officials call a house of horror in California. What police are saying about the abuse.
And coming up a little later in the hour, First Lady Melania Trump hospitalized after an operation. We're going to have the update on her condition.
Here's a peek outside our window. Now you won't need much sunblock again today. Some wet roads and some clouds. What's the story out there, John?
So we're still in the soup, no doubt about it, and we still have good chances of rainfall. The only thing is we might get a little bit of a break during the morning hours, and the focus of the shower and thunderstorm activity will be in the afternoon. 30% chance this morning by noon, sunshine with a little bit of heating going on up to about 85. And then by 3 p.m., a 50% chance of rainfall. So your drive commute forecast does have the rain box checked, but I think those showers will be kind of few and far between, and the character of them will be fairly light. Low 70s to head out the door, mid 80s on the way back. All airport hubs serving Sarasota International running on time, according to the FAA. Week's forecast in a minute.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So let's walk through it this morning. We'll start off with a little bit of cloud cover and a slight chance of rain showers, about 30% through the 7 o'clock hour. Light stuff like intermittent windshield wiper kind of stuff for the most part. There could be some brief periods of some moderate rain, but nothing really heavy. Certainly, I don't think we'll see any thunderstorm activity through about lunchtime. Lunchtime, 30%. We'll have some sunshine out there, boosting temperatures up to about 85. Then, in the second half of the day, that's when we'll work in that chance of a thunderstorm or two, and some of those could produce some pretty decent rainfall amounts. 3 p.m., 50% chance of rain showers. We'll get our temperature up, though, to the mid-80s, and then as we head into the evening, the rain shower chance will start to diminish as we head into the overnight. Forecast right now looks like this. Don't have just a lot of action going on across our area. We have Wauchula seeing a little bit of light rainfall and drizzle. Otherwise, there's some scattered showers out in Gulf water, some heavier stuff out there, but they're moving due north. They're going to kind of parallel our coastline and really not impact us over land. We still have this tropical moisture flow coming up out of the south, winding up around this area of low pressure that's off our coastline. And the Hurricane Center is still watching that area of low pressure, but it has a less chance, I think, today than it did yesterday of developing into anything of any significance. 72 degrees, our current air temperature, dew point value 71. It's warm, it's sticky outside. Got some cloud cover out there, and a southeast wind continues to pump in the moisture, coming in at about 8. Rainfall totals yesterday, pretty good, actually. So far, this rainfall event has created some 3-inch rainfalls in places across the Suncoast down around Charlotte County. Generally speaking, we're looking at some 2-inch rainfalls yesterday. We had a couple that were closer to 3.5, almost 4-inch rainfalls. One location just on coastal Charlotte County. Ready? Over a 2-day period here, Sunday and Monday, 8 inches of rainfall. That was the winner in the state of Florida. I think we'll see kind of similar layout today, maybe lighter, slightly lighter rainfall totals. Our cloud cover, yeah, we're going to have some, but we're also going to have some sunshine poking through those clouds during the first half of the day. I think we'll start to cloud up during the second half of the day as we get a little sunshine going on here. You can hardly make out any kind of surface low pressure area here. It's kind of an elongated trough more than anything else. And it will continue lifting to the north as we progress through time. The low pressure area itself will eventually get picked up by a trough of low pressure sinking southward from the north, and that will tend to kind of shear it apart and pull it up into the deep south and provide them with some pretty decent rainfall as we head into the end of the work week, beginning of the weekend. For us, that deep plume of moisture continues to lift northward. And really, we're in the soup right straight into the weekend. Be kind of cloudy with good chances of rain each and every day, with perhaps a little bit more sunshine during the morning hours than we saw yesterday. Best rain chance in the afternoon, rain chances each day this week, and each day thunderstorms are possible. So those are the weather highlights that carry you through the remainder of the week. As far as any kind of development of this system goes, well, water temperatures are just sort of marginally okay for any kind of tropical development. We got some pockets of 80-degree temperature and a lot of 70s out there as well. But the ripping winds aloft, those winds coming from different directions that just tear at thunderstorm activity and prevent any kind of tropical development. While okay right now, the red means kind of lighter wind shear. As we head through time, we get more of these blues in here, which means that the shearing effect becomes greater and the chances of thunderstorm development less. So they reduce the chance to about 30% for development over a 5-day period. East wind at about 15, not a great day for boating, I would think. And as we head into the week ahead, we'll look for chances of rainfall each and every day as we head into the weekend. We'll get a little bit more sunshine and more typical afternoon shower and thunderstorm activity. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there this morning. Roads aren't running too bad so far. The roads still are a little bit wet in some spots, so make sure you give yourself a couple extra minutes there. We do have one slowdown in Manatee County that's right there on 41 as it splits into 301. And moving into Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad either. Most of our hot spots, University, Fruitville, and Bee Ridge, those are all running pretty decent right now, so not too bad. A little bit farther south into the area, again, if your commute is going to take you south on 75 or south on 41, both of those are still running pretty smooth. It is 5:18, and that is your first alert traffic. It's being described as a house of horrors in California. 10 children removed from a home after police say they were abused.
Both parents now face charges this morning. We're getting a new look inside the house as the kid's mother blames the conditions on police. ABC's Diane Macedo has the latest.
I just learned that they had 10 kids over there. I'm shocked.
Neighbors here on Fieldstone Court in Fairfield say they look out for one another and know most of each other and are in disbelief learning the condition inside this home. Human and animal feces and garbage throughout the house where children ranging from 4 months to 11 years old were living.
It's pretty quiet in here, so to me that's a shock.
Larry Magne says he never saw any of the 10 children, but says he met the mother in March when she claims her son went missing. Police say he was later found in a neighbor's bush.
She was like asking me if she can check my backyard, if the kid's there and stuff.
Magne says he also saw the father just last week.
Pretty quiet. I think I saw the guy about last week. He was cleaning something there, and we just waved, you know. Little neighbor, hey, what's up, you know, because we were driving off.
We knocked on the door of the home this afternoon. The screen is broken and the windows are all closed. A young man answered the door.
I'm doing no press conferences, I'm sorry.
Can you tell us what happened at court today?
No, I'm sorry.
Neighbors say they never saw any activity at this home. No noise, no disruptions, and again, never saw any of those 10 children and are just heartbroken about what was going on inside.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, the Amazon store where you just pick up what you want and then you just walk on out. We're going to tell you how the store works and where it's now going to be setting up shop.
And the Kilauea volcano is showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. How it's impacting tourism this month. But first, let's go to a live shot from Israel. This is the wall in Jerusalem. Tensions are high there as the U.S. moves its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. West Bank Palestinians not pleased right now. We'll have more reaction coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Welcome back. There's a live look outside this morning covering the Rosemary District as well as the rest of Sarasota. It is 5:22 and a little wet roads out there to start your day, but we'll see some sunshine today, according to John Scalzi. Well, volcanic activity on Hawaii's Big Island is showing no signs of slowing down. Every day for the past 3 days, a new crack has opened up on the Kilauea volcano. A river of lava more than a mile long is now flowing toward the ocean from one of the cracks. Now, more residents near the site have finally been ordered to evacuate that area as well. The lava is also forcing some roads to close. Now, officials worry that people in some areas with limited highway access could become trapped. The National Guard is standing by to help them get out of harm's way. Troops are also monitoring air quality there as well, as some of the cracks are now throwing lava balls hundreds of feet into the air and emitting plumes of toxic gas.
This is the view from the International Space Station passing over Kilauea. This is about 250 miles above Earth. Look at this now on your TV screens. Astronaut Drew Feistel shared this image on Twitter saying, "We hope those in the vicinity of the eruption can stay out of harm's way."
And as expected, Big Island tourism is also taking a hit this month. The county's visitor bureau says vacation bookings for the summer are down about 50% from last year. Through July, that's about $5 million just in cancellations. The industry brought in about $2.5 billion in revenue just last year. Well, it is the store that doesn't make you pay on your way out the door. No checkout lines here.
I like that. Amazon Go, it's called. It's opening soon in Chicago and San Francisco. Here's today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon is expanding its cashier-less grocery store.
Right now, the only Amazon Go store is in Seattle, but the company is confirming reports that new stores are being planned in Chicago and San Francisco. Amazon has not announced opening dates for those stores just yet. Uber is making some big changes to the way passengers rate drivers.
Now, riders no longer have to wait until the end of their journey to rate a driver. You can now tip and compliment your driver mid-trip. The change is a way to provide riders with enough time to share feedback. Wonder if drivers can do the same. And Fujifilm is now selling a completely analog camera.
That's right. It shoots photographs on film, and those pictures are just under 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. They're also available instantly. The price tag, $130.
The question a lot of people are asking, what is film?
Those are your Tech Bites.
No, really.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Capital One.
What is it?
The next big thing in food was once a little paper box.
Now we can easily take out food from a restaurant.
Let's stay in and binge watch the snow.
Genius.
Now the next big thing is the Capital One Saver Card.
Good choice, babe.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
Earn 3% cash back on dining, 2% on groceries, and 1% on all other purchases.
What's in your wallet?
I'll take that.
Hey, Lego my Eggo.
I don't see your name on it.
Really? Ba-bam!
Know the rules. Keep your Eggo.
Lego my Eggo! Okay.
With Roomba from iRobot, your family can expect clean floors every day. 2 unique multi-surface brushes and power-lifting suction pick up dirt, large debris, and even pet hair, so your floors are always clean. You and Roomba from iRobot. Better together.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
This morning, just one day after First Lady Melania Trump underwent surgery, we've got an update on her condition.
And it's National Law Enforcement Week, how fallen officers are being remembered this morning.
And cleanup is underway this morning after a tornado touched down in the state. This morning, we'll hear from one survivor who talks about the scary moments before taking cover. We have those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning to you. It is 5:30. I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
And I'm Ray Collins. Plenty of rain yesterday. Boy, John, Stephanie and I were at a function last night where apparently parking was a good idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I was looking over some of the rainfall totals that came in yesterday for a 2-day total. There are areas in coastal Charlotte County that got 8-inch rainfalls. That's tremendous. Amazing amounts of rainfall. Most places saw 2 inches or better of rainfall. The good news is we're starting off this morning a little bit quieter, not seeing quite as much rain across the region. We have pretty light stuff ongoing at this moment, mostly north of Wauchula. That's where you're seeing a few scattered showers, light rain. Otherwise, most of the area, I think, going to be kind of dry this morning for your morning commute. We did have some overnight rains, though, so watch for some slippery road surfaces just the same. As far as cloud cover goes, we have some around, but we have breaks in our clouds as well. So we're likely to see some sunshine as dawn breaks on the Suncoast. That area of low pressure that we continue to monitor for tropical development is hard to kind of pick out in the visible satellite imagery, or certainly the infrared satellite imagery, but on our water vapor imagery you can make out that swirl of clouds out in Gulf waters right about there, and it's just off our coast. So we still have good chances of rainfall today with that northerly flow continuing to move up. Our rainfall totals for today come in at about less than ½ an inch for most locations, but we'll have isolated pockets of probably inch rain or better across the region. As we head into the afternoon and over the next several days, we'll watch those rainfall totals continue to increase. We'll be looking at probably daytime totals over the course of the next couple of days, coming in at over 4 to 5 inches of rainfall. So pretty impressive rainfall amounts as we go into the next week ahead, this week ahead. The planner calls for today about a 30% chance of showers by 7 a.m. By 12 noon, about 30% chance. And then as we head into the afternoon, the sunshine will help boost our temperatures to about 86 degrees. And we'll have a 50% chance of rainfall then. Back to you.
Thank you, John. This is a look right now at the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, where today they are going to host the 33rd Annual Law Enforcement Memorial Service that starts at 9 o'clock this morning at 6010 Cattle Ridge Boulevard off Cattleman Road, not too far from Bee Ridge, that should say in Sarasota County. Let's check the roads right now. First off in Manatee County, see some issues there on State Road 70 in both directions. Nothing else though in Manatee. Farther south, we'll check the upper half of Sarasota. Not too much to speak of so far. And then farther south, we'll find out that there is all clear, just some damp roads right now at 5:33 on your Tuesday morning.
Well, First Lady Melania Trump is recovering in the hospital this morning after undergoing surgery yesterday to treat a benign kidney condition. It's the most serious surgery for a First Lady since Nancy Reagan underwent a mastectomy back in 1987. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with more.
Good morning. This news was kept under wraps in a White House that's known for leaks. The First Lady's office released few details, but did say the procedure was successful.
First Lady Melania Trump is recovering at Walter Reed Medical Center after being treated for a benign kidney condition. The president wasn't by his wife's side as doctors performed an embolization, a procedure to plug up a blood vessel to stop bleeding. A senior administration official tells ABC News he spoke with her beforehand and with her doctors immediately after. The surprise announcement came with few details and word Mrs. Trump will likely remain in the hospital for the rest of the week.
After this type of procedure, we watch for bleeding, we monitor kidney function, and we make sure pain control is adequate. If she does stay in the hospital a full 5 days, we've learned that that will be the longest First Lady hospital stay since Nancy Reagan.
It's still unclear exactly what the First Lady's condition is, and it also remains unclear why President Trump wasn't at the hospital for her procedure. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Well, all week long, law enforcement agencies across the country are honoring fallen police officers for National Police Week.
Right now, Bradenton's Police Chief Melanie Bevan, along with the Honor Guard, is in the nation's capital, along with hundreds, all honoring fallen heroes. Our Marla Spence joins us now live from the old Manatee Courthouse, where a memorial sits for local fallen heroes. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Today, Police Chief Melanie Bevins will be heading back to the Suncoast from Washington, D.C. after honoring more than 300 fallen police officers, including one of her department's very own. Officer Steve Bennett died while serving as a Bradenton police officer nearly 80 years ago. It came to the department's attention that his name was missing from the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. This year, the department made sure his name was on that memorial, and as Chief Bevins, Bradenton police officers, and the Honor Guard makes their way back to the Suncoast, they plan on honoring fallen officers, including Bennett, here in Bradenton. Now, they plan to do that on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock here at the old courthouse, and this memorial site where the names of so many fallen heroes are listed on these different memorial plaques. They plan to do that at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. UNICEF has mobilized emergency crews in the Democratic Republic of Congo to help control an Ebola outbreak. The World Health Organization is warning of a, quote, worst-case scenario. The organization says 2 cases of the deadly disease have been confirmed so far. 14 are suspected. And of the 18 people who have died, they say they all likely had Ebola.
Right now, back in Florida, cleanup is underway after a tornado touched down in Palm Beach County. The twister damaged homes and trees. The National Weather Service says the tornado was on the ground for 5 to 7 minutes. It slammed the area with winds of up to 80 miles an hour. One homeowner says his family took cover in a closet.
I just told everybody, please hurry. Something's going to happen. The pressure dropped, and it was right on top of us. Actually, we sat beside the edge of the bed on the floor. Okay. Everything was shaking, and you know, thankfully we're okay, but it was scary, very scary couple minutes.
Fortunately, in all this, no injuries during the storm.
Well, with the season over and those snowbirds headed back up north, some business owners want to work together to bring more shoppers to downtown Sarasota throughout the rest of the year. The head of the Downtown Merchants Association says he plans to put their collective efforts into a better advertising campaign. Ron Soto says it's hard, really, to compete against the malls and those big box stores.
The Downtown Merchants Association is trying to get everybody together to do an advertising campaign to remind the locals that downtown does have it all. We have the greatest restaurants, we have great nightlife, and we have wonderful shopping downtown.
Soto admits that some business owners would rather put more money toward infrastructure, but he says all of the aesthetic improvements in the world won't matter if nobody knows about you. The Merchants Association wants the larger downtown improvement district to match their dollars. That's going to be discussed on their meeting June 5th. This week's graduation ceremony for Booker High School has been moved from the Opera House to the Van Wezel. Each student can get 5 tickets total. The Van Wezel has 1,700 seats. The principal of Booker says the students voted for the change of location.
We reached out to the senior class and we asked them to help us find a viable solution. And it was the students that researched all the information on the Opera House in Van Wezel. The biggest thing is we knew if we went to Van Wezel that we would have to switch from a Saturday to a Thursday night, so they voted on that.
The ceremony is set for 5 o'clock on Thursday. For those who can't get tickets and want to see the event, it's also being streamed live. Well, if you've got a teen that wants to make some money this summer, mark your calendars. Manatee County Parks and Rec is holding 2 different job fairs this month at G.T. Bray Park in Bradenton. The county needs dozens of camp counselors, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. The job fairs will be this Friday from 7:30 to noon, and then Friday, May 25th from 2 to 6. Still ahead, gas prices continue to rise. We'll tell you how much more than last year at this time. Plus, we are just days away from the royal wedding. Ray, what's going to be on the menu? We're going to tell you. We've got those stories coming up for you right after the break. But first... Yeah, here's a live shot right now from Jerusalem where things have gotten very tense. 59 Palestinians killed by Israeli gunfire at the border. This is all about the U.S. switching the embassy from Tel Aviv into Jerusalem, which the West Bank and Palestinians do not appreciate, to say the least. That's a scene live right now in Israel. As far as the local forecast right now, here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, we're looking at, again, some kind of changing weather over the course of the day. We'll start off with a little bit more sunshine. So I think for the school bus forecast, I think the morning is going to be just fine. You'll have a slight chance at possibly an isolated shower or two, 70 the temperature. I think for the most part, we're looking okay for the pickup time. For drop-off this afternoon, that's when you have the much better chance of showers and thunderstorms around. And the rain chance spikes from about 20 to 30% up to about 50% at that point. 85, it's going to be a warm afternoon. And today I'll up the chance for an outdoor recess. We'll give it about a 50% chance, 5 out of 10. And cloudy, chance of afternoon showers, temperatures in the mid-80s. We'll have the forecast in a second.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So I think we get a little bit of a break with this morning's commute. Yesterday we did have some rain showers around during the morning hours, and some of them were fairly heavy in places, mostly in inland locations. But this morning things are different. We have about a only 30% chance of showers during the morning, and I'd put that morning right straight. Well, I kind of identified 9 a.m., but I think I could go from now till probably noon with a 30% chance of rainfall. In fact, even at noon, we'll call it 30%. 85 by noon as we get a little bit more sunshine during the first half of the day. And then as we head into the afternoon, that sunshine will start to heat things up and to stabilize the atmosphere, and sea breezes will start to form, and all those things interacting together will give us a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And some of those could be heavy. I think they'll be fairly widespread as well. Heading into the evening hours, about 40% by drive time home this evening. I think you'll be dodging possibly some thunderstorms, and there could be some ponding of water on roadways during the afternoon and evening commutes. So radar right now looking pretty good. We've got some showers exiting areas around Wauchula. We have some showers about 10 miles offshore. Light stuff, no thunder being reported at any of these. We have that area of low pressure continuing to spin around, drawing up this southerly air in this plume of moisture, and it's creating some showers over on the other coast. We've got some showers to the north of us moving into Tallahassee and Jacksonville, some of it pretty heavy. But for us, we get that little bit of a break. You can see that we have breaks in the clouds as well, and here's why. If you identify the center of circulation here that we're looking at on our water vapor imagery, which kind of shows you where the swirls and motions are in the atmosphere, where the dry air is and is not. This tan color is dry air. You can see that the circulation is kind of pulling down some dry air from the north and really wrapping it all the way around that circulation. So we get a little more dry air to start off the morning, and that's going to help bring us a little bit more sunshine and less rainfall during the first half of the day. Of course, with the sunshine comes the possibility of destabilizing the atmosphere as it gets warmer, causing it to heat, lift, cool, condense, produce the thunderstorms. That's what we'll have this afternoon. 72 our air temperature now, 71 the dew point. That's warm. East wind coming in at about 8 with a mix of clouds and fair weather skies. A few areas with some patchy drizzle. The low pressure area lifts to the north with time, and as it lifts to the north, a frontal boundary sinking southward kind of picks it up, pulls it apart, and stretches its moisture across the deep south. That's what will eventually happen probably by Thursday into Friday. And then we'll watch the moisture continue to lift out of the south, but less of an effect from that low pressure area as we head into the weekend. We'll still have thunderstorms around over the weekend, however. So best rain chance for the next couple of days is going to be in the afternoon. We'll watch the rain chances each and every day this week, however, but as they end up toward the end of the week, Saturday, Sunday, they'll probably be slightly different in character, less dependent on that low. And then thunderstorms are possible each and every day. We'll watch the Futurecast show these showers kind of coming at us. They'll be, generally speaking, coming from south to north across the viewing area. At times, some of the thunderstorm activity could be heavy, and some of it could lay down some pretty good rainfall. But for the most part, I think the heaviest of the rain days was probably yesterday. That said, under some of these thunderstorms, you're going to get some fairly heavy rain. East wind, south wind coming in at about 15, decreasing a little bit during the overnight. We'll look for today, a daytime high that tops out warmer than yesterday, coming in about 86. 50% chance of those late afternoon showers and thunderstorms moving into the evening hours. Tomorrow, about a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. I think 50% is a pretty reasonable value each and every day. As we head into the weekend, I think that'll be more kind of characterized by those afternoon showers and thunderstorms that build inland and maybe drift back toward the coast, these sea breeze thunderstorms, and that'll carry us into next week. Back to you.
All right, thanks. So let's take a look at your first alert traffic out there right now. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, the roads are still slick in some spots, so you want to be sure to kind of keep an eye on those roads or give yourself a couple extra minutes here and there. So far, no real traffic updates to tell you about. All the roads are running pretty smooth out there. None of those delays that we normally see around this time in the morning. So it is 5:48, and that is your first alert traffic.
And speaking of driving, a gallon of gas is now 53 cents more than last year at this time. The national average is $2.87 a gallon. Experts say it could reach $3 in the next 2 weeks. By the way, in Hawaii and California, prices are nearing $3.70 a gallon. The steady climb is partly due to an increased demand and the reduced supply of crude oil.
Well, food fit for a queen. That is literally what's on the menu for this weekend's royal wedding. The theme, royal tradition meets California cool. The big question, will they pull a pint or go with some California wine? Molly Hunter breaks down the royal menu.
What happens when a self-proclaimed California foodie marries into the British royal family? Well, for one thing, the wedding menu has got to be good.
The TIG is a lifestyle site that I launched last year.
Before she was engaged to Prince Harry, Meghan Markle ran a little lifestyle blog on the side called The TIG.
The name The TIG comes from a wine called Tignanello.
Perhaps a hint about the wine to be served at the wedding, Meghan's website is now defunct, but she blogged a lot about delicious, mouth-watering, healthy food. And we expect to see some of that on Saturday.
The Queen will have had a big say in the menus, and those menus will include traditional ingredients, but it will also see some of the more modern elements that we know Harry and Meghan like. Meghan is a big foodie, so it will be a real kind of blend of all of the different flavours.
I think it would be a really nice spring salad to start. They could actually go with a venison, because in Windsor, Great Park, there are a lot of deer, and I think you can get local venison from there. And then dessert-wise, again, probably something chocolatey or delicious lemon tart or something like that.
So far, the only confirmed menu item, a departure from royal tradition according to the palace, is the wedding cake from California pastry chef Claire Tack.
They're departing from the traditional fruitcake and they're going for a lemon and elderflower cake.
Former royal chef Darren McGrady tweeted out the menu of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's wedding in 1947. For a country still rationing at the time, the menu was luxurious, starting with filet de sole Mountbatten and finished off with a bombe glacée Princess Elizabeth. No doubt the future British princess will shake up tradition, one slice of lemon elderflower cake at a time. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
And in honor of the big day, John Scalzi arrived to work dressed like this morning.
John Scalzi. He went all out. I mean, I didn't even know he had like the whole costume for a Royal Palace Guard.
This is actually a fun ABC News app that you can actually download as well.
You can get one of these guys on your set too.
5:51, more news after this.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time media controller to manage various stages of video on-air content playout. General computer skills are an absolute must. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
It is 5:54. Here's some of the top stories that we're following for you today.
Manatee County School Superintendent is now a finalist for the same job in Jacksonville. Last night, the Duval County School Board named Diana Green among the final 3.
Plus, Mother Nature isn't letting Hawaii off the hook just yet. More eruptions could happen this week from the Kilauea volcano, and more evacuations there have been ordered.
And the Sarasota School Board will vote today on closing the road that cuts through the middle of Sarasota High School's campus. The plan would require a second vote this Monday night by the Sarasota City Commission.
Coming up in the next hour, more protests are underway in Jerusalem today after the opening of that new U.S. embassy there yesterday. And back here on the Suncoast, ever wonder what it's like to be the significant other of a Major League Baseball player during the season? Well, it is life-changing. It is my exclusive one-on-one with Rays pitcher Jake Faria and his fiancée Jessica. Life in the major leagues.
I know she gets good seats behind the plate.
Yeah, that is one perk for sure.
Yeah, I see the wives, the girlfriends sitting right behind the plate. Good seats. One last peek at the forecast this hour. Here's John Scozzi.
I tell you what, if you want benefits of the recent rains, take a look at the fire danger index. Almost the entire state of Florida is in the low category now, having gone from really extreme and very high to not so much. So that's good news there. Also, pollen count, if you're a sufferer, I have never seen it this low in months. We're now in the extreme low category, heading toward a 0, which will never happen, but at least we're in the 1s and 2s as opposed to the 9s and 10s. Rainfall forecast over the course of the rest of the day, well, we'll probably pick up more rain. Forecast coming up in a second.
All right, also more news, and we'll show you why we broke curfew last night.
We stayed out so late, you guys.
Street lights were on.
5 p.m. We've got that for you. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7.